We finished Pro Class pilots just a minute ago with an epic win by Birds Aren't Real, and now getting ready to go into Elite Class finals, of course, followed by the S tier later tonight, where we've got a special surprise course change for the pilots and all the viewers at home. Thanks for sticking with us. My name is Jesse Perkins, and if you're just joining us, you're going to love this course.
And backwards, up now.
It's incredible. So the way we're going to do this, just like the other two heats, we're going to send these pilots up for one round of practice, as you heard Icy say, followed by their immediate preliminary round race. So getting ready to launch that right now. You can see our first heat of pilots ready for practice. Why would they want to practice today? Well, pilots normally want to warm up their thumbs, have one battery on the course before they start really getting into today's competitive racing. After all, this is for all the glory. We just put all the trophies outside. Every single person's getting a custom fleet box, compliments of custom RC with their name or with their place on it. So like we have one for first place, second place, third place, all the way down to 64. The new fleet box that holds 4 Tiny Whips. It's like the coolest storage case ever. It'll commemorate the event forever. We've also got 16 trophies because we're doing top 4 for all 4 double elimination brackets, and we'll be handing those out at the award ceremony after S tier finals. So as I say, thanks for sticking with us. You've seen the racing get hotter and hotter throughout the day today, and that's not going to change, obviously, going into Elite Class. The Elite Class pilots here at the Tiny Whip Open are in another league. They're incredibly fast. They're all finishing laps, obviously, and it's going to be a very competitive hole shot at the beginning of every race. There's a lot of open sky, open air, and distance to cover for our unique hole shot here at the Tiny Whip Open. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. And it's a beautiful thing to see line of sight. I always look to my right, and there is just a river of Tiny Whips swirling round and round this giant room. Here at the Denver Center for International Studies, our beautiful venue, we love it here. It's our second year having the Tiny Whip Open at this gorgeous historic building in downtown Denver. And we've got several large rooms that we tour on our course this year.
Stand down.
I think
and
Birds
disarm.
is wearing
Race
that
start
because he's
canceled.
trying to hide his pants.
Yo, Patrick, can you put this on the table? Yeah, Patrick, you don't even have to go to the main screen of the round. These are the extras.
All right, plug them in, guys. I'm going to open this thing.
Well, we're plugging them in. And I'm going to try to pull up my comments here. Whether you're joining us on the official Perspective Image YouTube channel or on the Tiny Whip YouTube channel, thank you so much for being with us and experiencing this course. I wish everybody in the Tiny Whip world could experience this race course, but here's who gets to experience it right now. Zion FPV, Dio GTS, aka Jodas, aka Dio GTS, Backwoods, and Marshall FPV, all getting ready to take to the sky for their practice lap or course. Practice 2 minutes on the course before we fire straight into the preliminary round of our double elimination bracket, where we sort these 16 pilots
Arm your quads.
ranked from
Starting
17
on
to
the tone in less than
32 on the
6.
overall leaderboard into the winner's bracket and, of course, a consolation bracket. Wow, super fast launch for Zion FPV here on this practice round. He's taken this very seriously.
Hole shot Zion is fly on FPV 7.95.
So Zion with a clear hole shot, but gets skipped right out of the hyperdrive. Wow, you know, on the previous rounds, the pilots were not quite this fast, and it makes the hyperdrive feel so much longer, but you blink and you're through it. That's a 50-foot tunnel of LEDs. We have 72 feet of it, but oh, what did Dio just do? But we've only fired up 52 in a row. We've also got some holding up the gigantic unicorn pylons in our auditorium here. And yeah, you can see Dio wants to practice double tapping the slide. The slide feature, by far the most well-known course feature out of all of these incredible, unique experiences that make up the Tiny Whip Open course. And yes, it was put to vote. He tumbles down it. As soon as pilots got here, we made 2 versions of the course, one with the slide and one without. We showed everybody at Whoop House, and we had everybody stand on different sides of the room. Stand on this side of the room if you want to, oh, what's going on with Marshall? Stand on this side of the room if you want the slide. Stand on the other side of the room if you don't. There was only 2 people on the don't side, and it was pretty much me and Edoc. I don't think there was anyone else.
FPV finished in first.
They got peer pressure to the other side, though.
Some people really felt peer pressured, I guess. I mean, I noticed that. Birds was campaigning so hard.
Backwoods FPV
But the slide
finished
is
in
a skill
second.
move, you know, and pilots are frustrated because it's a skill they've never learned before showing up here. It's really hard to practice for. But we've seen several pilots that can nail it every single time. So the rule with the slide is you have to
60
make
seconds
contact with
remaining.
both sections of the face of the slide. Normally when I do a slide, we just have very low gates and we don't require sliding.
Race
Well,
over.
likewise, we're not requiring sliding here, but you do have to make contact. You pretty much have to do a touch and go on each of the 2 slides that are segmented together on that giant platform made by my friend Maverick, one of the admins of the Tiny Whoop Open. So yeah, I was kind of leaning towards making the slide not even part of this incredibly long course, but there it is. By the request of the pilots, here to have fun. This course is a long and dynamic adventure with moving gates, with a giant slide, with the world's longest Tiny Whoop tunnel, with an entire tent full of blacklight reactive gates, and of course the Sky Gate held up by this giant rig. And people are asking me, why is that thing in the middle of the room? It's just dangling a weight over the cube, and we are going to be showing you very soon what that is all about. We're making a course change for the S-tier pilots, so stick with us. Around 4 p.m. today, we'll be firing up the S-tier pilots with a brand new centerpiece to this entire event. And yeah, it's going to be a blast. But first, oh look, I love it when the kids realize they're on TV. A look at our VIP lounge there underneath the centerpiece, our infinity cube. We'll get to that. And now we glance to our, back to the VIP lounge. The kids are loving this. Imagine if you, I mean, I didn't fall in
Arm
love
your
with
quads.
drones till I was in my
Starting on the
30s.
tone in less than 6.
Imagine if you got to fall in love with flight when you were younger. As we get set to go live on the first official course. Oh, a rough start for Dio and Zion and Marshall. Look at Backwoods. Got a lot of clean air and kind of makes a little mistake in the beginning of the hole shot. Finds himself stuck. Is he going to lose the lead that fast before the hole shot's even over? Yes, he is. First one across. Going to be Dio GTS, but we'll give him a second to find his bearings. He's going to do an extra little spiral, and he's lost the hole shot. Marshall FPV, first one across the line in this hole shot.
Marshall
Second
FPV
place going to Backwoods.
26.56.
Dio bringing around if we can get him across. There he is. And we have got to get Zion out of that box. I can see Birds' head from his FPV feed. Remember, it's a double elimination bracket, so if something goes wrong, he's got another chance. But we want him in this competition. We're here to see drone racing, ladies and gentlemen. Side-by-side view for Backwoods and Marshall FPV on the bottom half of your screen as they enter Neo's UV Creations tent. And what a gorgeous environment, and there it is. Dio's also in there. As we look back to Zion, looks like once you touch your quad, you're out of the race. You hate to see it. Zion's an awesome competitor. I don't want him to go out that way, that is for sure. Have a look at Backwoods FPV leading the pack as he approaches the dynamic slalom, these gate bots, all 5 of them. We've got 7 total, but 5 of them active currently. Well, all 7 are active, but we have 2 backups. And yeah, they make the course change just a little bit. 4 of them are traveling on 5-foot sections and 1 of them on a 10-foot section of rail, back and forth at whatever speed we want. So we've got it fine-tuned to make it the perfect dynamic course feature. Force a little bit of decision making as Backwoods drops it off the top of the slide. First one to get there. No, he's not. Zion finally in the air and screaming fast as we have a race right now between Dio GTS and Backwoods at the front of the pack. Side by side going through the Sky Gate. A huge arrow by Backwoods sends him
60
flying, and
seconds
Dio
remaining.
GTS getting ready to
Dio
lock
GTS
down
finished
his
in
first
first.
place finish. Bravo, Dio GTS. Here in the preliminary round, works his way into the winner's bracket.
Backwoods FPV
Who are we going to bring with
finished
him?
in
Looks to be
second.
Backwoods FPV, also in the crash gate. If you were watching us yesterday, you may not know that the crash gate is extremely important. It's going to make or break some of the careers of these pilots at the Tiny Whip Open.
Marshall
2024.
FPV finished in third.
So there's a
30
strong finish
seconds
by
remaining.
Marshall Zion in spite of a really long session at the beginning. Going to get fourth, which technically a DNF because he technically marshaled himself, but in this case doesn't make any difference at all. Let's see how he handles the slide. Oh, I really like that. He kind of
10
toilet bowled
seconds
into it. Now
remaining.
slides down on his lid, winds up in the flames. And you guys, if you've been watching the stream, you know what that means for your friend Jesse
Race
P.
over.
I'm going to run and get the ladder, and I'll be right back.
Next up, round 1, race 2. Bumper on R1. Blue Jay on R2. Fresh Bread on R6. Enter Spool on R8.
Pilots, listen, if you guys feel you were mid-aired before, you have to scream it out. We don't always see everything that's happening like before it happens. You gotta scream it, you gotta say it to the people on the racetrack there on the line.
Well, you might have noticed I deputized the ladder guy job here for elite class finals. There's Brazen. Chilling on the couch from Tiny Whip headquarters. We brought it all here. I was talking to Birds about what should we bring up to Denver. He said, well, this race is for all the people that don't get to hang out at Tiny Whip headquarters. Let's bring everything. Let's even bring the couch. So we did. We had enough room in the truck, and we brought it down. Let's take a minute to thank our sponsors. Thanks for that reminder, Bumper. Starting with our gold sponsors, and we have a very special thank you for iGow, the prop popper. That's the original prop popper. Drone Max, LDARC, Project 399. Shout out Jordan
There was
Temkin.
no midair. There was no midair before the race.
Emax,
We're not rerunning it.
RC and Power,
There was no midair.
Custom
You guys
FPV,
just fell out
Derpy
the thing
Hooves, and
and
of
were
course
hitting
Joshua Bardwell. Thanks
You
for the
weren't hitting
support.
Each other. The midair is
Let's
when
talk
you hit
about
each
our
other,
platinum
not
level
just
sponsors. HQ Prop, Rotor Riot, True RC Canada, Beta FPV, and T-Motor, all major players in the Tiny Whip world. Moving on to
All right,
our
so
diamond level sponsors.
Bumper, Blue Jay, Fresh Bread, and Interspool. Plug
Coming
for
in
your
at a very high level of
your
contribution.
practice battery.
We are so grateful for it, and a special thank you to
And you're gonna
Radio
do your
Master,
qualifying battery
Gem
right
Fan,
after that.
Happy Model, Birmingham Tiny Whippers, Wrecked, and HD Zero. But finally, coming in with the highest level of contribution to this incredible event, making it really possible. Thank you so much to Tiny Whip, WeBleedFPV.com, NewbieDrone.com, Neo's UV Creations, sorry I don't have their address memorized, and of course our beautiful venue here in the heart of downtown Denver, DCIS, the Denver Center for International Studies at Fairmont, with this gorgeous historic building, the scene of our incredible raceway, historic land, what's the word, groundbreaking raceway, the famous one-lap race.
4 video feeds.
And here is our second heat of pilots. We got Bumper, we got Blue Jay, Fresh Bread, and Interspool. This is going to be an awesome race. But we're going to start with a round of practice, so I'm
Arm
going to
your
try not to let
quads.
my heart beat too
Starting
hard.
on the tone in less
I
than
see
6.
Blue Jay sitting in the back, Fresh Bread on the left, Bumper on the far right. That means Interspool is the stander up front. And here on this practice round, Bumper goes for the staggered start. Let's see if he gets slammed by the door. I don't think he will. First one across.
Whole shot
Blue Jay,
12.19.
Interspool misses the whole shot, goes back for it. Blue Jay sets her down just for a second for funsies. He's back in the tunnel, and Interspool makes the pass over the top here on this practice round. Bumper and Fresh Bread rushing to catch up. Looks like Fresh Bread decided he just wants to practice the slide. Pretty smart use of time if you ask me. By far the hardest part of the course, but oh man, that was a perfect slide by Fresh Bread. As Interspool and Bumper negotiate the Neos UV Creations tent. I was just talking about that incredible sponsor. Second year coming in at the highest possible contribution. A local company. When Neos prints your favorite pics, they're stunning when viewed under black light. Make excellent gifts for everyone. Visit the Neos booth to see for yourself right here at the Denver Center for International Studies. If you mention this ad, you get 20% off your first order. Their website is neosuvcreations.com. You can also design your own sugar cookies, birthday cakes for graduations, weddings, corporate events, any occasion. They do blacklight everything, and I have eaten their blacklight cookies, and they're delicious. Thank you so much to Neos for getting our back and making this incredible race popular. 2 minutes on the timer for this practice round, and then we're going to bring them in immediately. So it's not a finish your lap situation, in other words. Blue Jay looks like he's feeling strong right now. Got across first, but again,
finished in second.
pilot like wreck was not properly racing. 2 seconds left.
Race over.
There it is. These guys are going to bring him in, and it's time to race the first race in the preliminary round. I can't believe we haven't seen tons of chat coming from the Burson family. We have this a lot in the drone racing community, but the family support is a huge deal, and Blue Jay's famous for it. Where's Amanda Burson? Get her back in the chat. Imogen's here. You got this AC unit. Excited to see you in the race. Can you believe he's an elite class pilot, Imogen? I get the feeling your family, and if I was, I'd be proud. I'm proud to be his friend. Proud to be his associate.
This is for real.
Borg Slayer FPV, no EDOC rule. That is correct, Borg Slayer. Hope you're doing well, and once again, really wish you were here because you would flip and love this course, Jace. Come on, I'm almost upset with you when I think about you missing it. We're fighting. Props off saying, get some, Blue Jay. Claymore saying, get him bumpy. And Jesus, the silly goose, shouts out Fresh Bread with the Volkansa hoot. Everybody's doing the Vulcan salute in the chat.
Oh, I got 4 feeds. Waiting for the pod to sit down.
Oh my gosh, I got to get the comments up for the Perspective Image channel. I'm going to pull it up right now and say what's up to all of those guys.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 6.
Wow. What a launch. You know, I wish everybody here could, you know, those VIP seats are just incredible because first you have the entire sky that is just a swarm of lights, and then they swirl right around the centerpiece right in front of you. Let's have a look at the course. Well, man, Blue Jay, our hero, is right out front, already at Nessie, back at the gymnasium, and he's got company. Interspool's there, but Fresh Bread's ahead. Fresh Bread now trying to push and catch up to Blue Jay, riding first place. Bumper's there as well. Now everybody in the Neos UV Creations tent, but Blue Jay's the first one out. He's going to duck into the hallway, Skygate in the hallway, across the long hall, down the pylon, and into our dynamic gate section. These robotic gates moving gently to and fro down 5 to 10 foot sections of track. Now into the toilet bowl for Blue Jay, and down the pipe. We call it the pipe, I guess. Round the pylon, and let's bring Blue Jay to set up for his first attempt at the slide, his only attempt at the slide. Nice and safe. He goes into it, winds up on his lid, and makes it down to the bottom. He definitely touched both pieces, and he's good to go. His only real company right now, Bumper and Interspool, both at the robot gates and trying to get out as Fresh Bread finds himself stuck somewhere in the Neos tent. Interspool with a little bit of an advantage over Bumper right now. But Blue Jay in a really strong position to move on in first place. Let's put him in the crash gate. There it is. Blue Jay, your winner of heat number 2 here in the preliminary round of the Elite Class Double Elimination Bracket Finals. And look how far ahead he is. Bumper now on the slide. That was a beautiful slide, Bumper. I love that. Went a little backwards, but a perfect slide. He slid the slide anyway. Big dive out of the Skygate for Bumper,
60 seconds
but
remaining.
Interspool is ahead of him, now sprinting for the gate. Crash gate
Bumper
goes
finished
to
in third.
Interspool. I think he crossed the plane, didn't he? Oh yeah, now he's in. I'm just gonna say he did indeed get there before Bumper. Yep. Great racing and more great racing to come. Imagine when we get towards the end of this bracket, we're literally in the preliminary round where the pilots in these heats are the farthest possible away from each other
30
skill-wise.
seconds remaining.
And nevertheless, we're seeing a nail biter down to the finish between Interspool and Bumper, racing for second place to try to keep it in the winner's bracket.
10 seconds remaining. Finish your lap and then land.
It's hard to see, but this camera is actually pointing right at the
Orange
VIP
stuff.
seats on the couch there. A
Race
bunch of our
over.
spectators from the
Check
Denver
back, orange
Center
stuff,
for
AC
International
unit, 0
Studies.
volts. Come
Joining
up
us
the
to
line
check
for
out
your
the
practice
incredible
batteries.
action.
Next
Look
up,
at that
round one,
little
race
honeybee
3.
on the right.
Check back on R1.
I really do wish I could
Orange
be a
stuff on
kid at a
R2.
race like this.
AC unit on
There's
R6.
some of our Team Neo's UV
0
Creations
volts on
pilots. Finished up earlier. A couple of those guys on the podium, if I'm not mistaken. Of the advanced and pro class finals that we just finished up, working our way towards the S tier championship racing. Looks like we're in a brief holding pattern.
Is he plugged in?
So in case you're trying to orient yourself, that tunnel at the back of the room, that's the 50-foot hyperdrive we've been talking about. It's in the very first part of the lap right after the gigantic Tour de Room we call the
Arm
whole
your
shot.
quads. Starting on the tone in less than 6.
Those synchronized gates made by Bryce Johnson on the far left of the room, we call that the toilet bowl, overlooking the mirrored Infinity Gate tunnels. And here we go with practice round. We've got Chet Mack, AC unit, and 0 volts in the sky right now. This is
Whole
not
shot
for
0
realsies.
volts,
It's
13.3.
just a practice. We got to let these guys warm up, and then we also let them get to know the dynamic slalom. Yesterday we ran the dynamic slalom, but it was actually static. So this time it's actually moving, and that makes it a different animal. Well, right now, not sure what there's no way Chet Mack did a lap already. Nobody has ever done a lap that fast. So from what I'm seeing right now, orange stuff also in the air. Hallelujah. That is great to see. Side by side, 0 volts and AC unit make midair contact on the corkscrew inside the Neo's UV Creations tent, now making their way out. AC unit got the advantage, but fell off of it, hit the ground, and now 0 volts in front of AC unit in the dynamic slalom, doing battle with the gate bots. A little bit of a tip there. 0 volts gets out first. AC unit's flying strong. He's got to make it clean to get out of here, though. Now he's caught up. Both of them share the toilet bowl. AC unit faster into the pipe, and now AC unit leads the crew here in this practice round. Sets up for a slide. Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that was great. That was great. Here goes 0 volts. Oh, I think 0 volts might have missed the second slide. He's going to go regather and repractice that. As AC unit moves on to the shoelace in this practice round, this is not official racing. As excited as I get, 0 volts ping-ponging all over the room.
AC unit finished
Here
in
comes
first.
Chet Mack on the slide. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad.
0 volts
I would accept
finished in
that
second.
if I was a pilot after
60
seeing all the
seconds
slides today.
remaining.
That's time, Dicey.
Race over.
Well, we gave those guys an extra 9 seconds, but I'm going to forgive them. A look at our pilots. Chet Mack on the right, AC units headed down the hallway. Orange Stuff on the left. World-renowned freestyle tiny whip pilot Orange Stuff, hails from California. Talking to Birds Aren't Real, the new pro champion. Practice is over, and now we're going to bring up the same 4 pilots to fly faux rails. A shout out to some of our friends in the chat. We do have Amanda here in the Perspective Image chat. Shout out to Amanda Burson. Crazy Dude's here. Hey, Crazy Dude, that's your boyfriend. Chris Fisher loving the next heat pilot photos. Well, shout out to my friend Isaac Fall for that. He did a great job setting those up. And another giant shout out to the Perspective Image YouTube channel and live streaming service. My man Greg is a huge part of this creation and making it look amazing for all the spectators that can't be here to experience this course firsthand. We love it. So thank you so much. Rec braving the fire there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Amanda Burson, way to go, Blue Jay. I'm going to tell that to him personally. It Mom, thanks for joining us. Saying, what's up, Jesse? Hey, man, how's it going? Again, I'm upset with you that you're not here, but I'm going to get over it. So you hear birds in the background describing how you have to get into the crash gate this time around. Gonna double check my other chat quickly. Say what's up to V-Ball FPV. Imogen's still hanging out here. Yeah, AC unit. Okay, so again, I was excited to see him compete. You know, he's an incredible pilot. He's got an amazing mind. But that was just practice. Enid Croaks here as well. Yeah, Arlen, I'm telling you, the family support is the best support. It's the best. I'm going out on a limb. I don't know for sure. I don't know his family. What up, Rabble? Rabble shouts out Chet Mack. Let's see what Chet Mack can do. Door is open and the quads are out. It was a synchronous launch and Orange Stuff flying cleanly. I'm really excited to see his performance. I want a no-error fight for him. Looks like he's doing great position. First one through the hole shot and into the hyperdrive. It's 50 feet of LEDs for Orange Stuff. Makes it out cleanly, getting chased down by Chet Mack. Third place AC Unit also trying to catch up right now as Chet Mack sets it down. AC Unit now moved into second place behind your leader Orange Stuff with an error on the Rainbow Road. Now AC Unit up into the 1 spot, leading the pack. Double checking, got lost. Going to double check his gates one more time as Orange Stuff starts to run away with it. He's all the way in the Neo's UV Creations tent at this stage. And there's his split S followed by the corkscrew. He'll duck out of the tent now, be the first one out as the other 3 pilots continue to struggle in the UV tent. Over to the gate bots for Orange Stuff, your leader here on this 1-lap race. 0 volts, the first one out. No, AC Unit is in front of him. So now it's a battle for second between AC Unit and 0 volts. We saw this during the practice round. Have a look at 0 volts screen. He saw AC Unit fly away right before he crashed. Now AC second place into the toilet bowl as Orange Stuff tumbles from the top of the slide. Let's see if AC Unit can get up there and catch him. He's got 2 more turns, and Orange Stuff with a secondary error opens it up. AC Unit getting ready to move into first place right now with a very nice slide. First place now to AC Unit, top of the room. I'm wondering what the commotion is. Looks like he got lost for a second to the Sky Gate. What's happening right now? I don't know what happened. Something must have happened. Looks like it's a rerun.
60.
Well, we've
race
got to
over.
rerun this one. That was a really fun race, and I don't like getting psyched out any more than anyone in our audience. But this one is a do-over. Esther Croak saying, go AC Unit, get it. Same with Imogen, get it AC Unit. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm a giant fan. I'm on your team, but I'm not supposed to share my opinion. I'm an impartial commentator, ladies and gentlemen. To me, it's just another name, just another face. Just kidding, how could he ever be? Chetmac Orange Stuff AC Unit 0 volts. We're halfway through the preliminary round at race number 3 after the practice round, and a little bit of a re-race. Have a look at the image on the right. Elite class this year symbolized by the Gerfalcon. Second fastest bird on the, well, the fastest bird in the world on the flat. But of course, representing the S-tier pilots to come will be the Peregrine Falcon. 17 to 32 racing across this 14 race bracket. We've had multi-ace finals in every double elimination bracket leading up to now. And I expect no different here. Chase the Ace, you know, on a race that is not poorly that is not balanced properly, with lower level of qualifying rounds, tends to be a less exciting finals. But when you do a record 8 qualifying heats, batteries on the course, laps around the course, per pilot, per 64 pilots, well, you wind up with 512 laps put in on this course. And when you weigh the pilots that many times, you find out exactly where they belong on the double elimination bracket. And here's numbers 17 through 32 here in the elite class. Can you imagine the S tier? I mean, if you're new to drone racing and you're just kind of stumbled along this channel, and there's a few of you out there,
Arm your quads.
please don't miss S tier,
on the
because you're
tone
going to
in
see
less than
some of
6.
the fastest racing the world has seen. Well, I bet that'll be our only re-race. We've got him in the sky right now, and a rough start for Orange Stuff. AC Unit's in it. He's trying to catch up at this stage. Let's see where we're at. Did 0 volts do that giant hole shot already? He did. Hole shot goes to Chetmac, chased down by 0 volts with a stumble. AC Unit makes the pass into second place, and now Orange Stuff trying hard to catch up. Rainbow Road for Chetmac, your leader here on our 1-lap race, and AC Unit's right behind him, approaching the pyramid of power at the back of the room, as Chetmac starts to extend his lead in front of AC Unit now inside the Neo's UV Creations tent. Glancing back at the pack, lots of errors. Orange Stuff still waking through that hole shot and in the hyperdrive. 0 volts also struggling with the hyperdrive, appears to have set it down to be stuck somewhere, as Chetmac, now out of the gym into the hallway, starts to make his way towards those gate bots, creating the dynamic slalom, a moving line of 5 gates that travel along their rails to create a different slalom every single approach, causing decision making to be a part of the racing process for the first time. Chetmac now on his way towards the top of the slide. Let's watch his slide. Oh, it was looking so good, but we're going to count that slide if he can get up. AC Unit's got a chance to catch him right now. Beautiful slide by AC Unit. Let's see if he can get there. AC Unit's looking like to be in a great position, especially when you see 0 volts and Orange Stuff appear to be stuck.
First.
Orange Stuff with an unbelievably high camera angle. That could be from a wreck. I almost wonder. Well, we've got Chetmac in the crash gate. A couple more swerves for AC Unit's going to keep him alive in the winner's bracket. Let's put him in the crash gate. There it is officially. AC Unit and Chetmac moving on in the winner's bracket. But all is not over for Orange Stuff and 0 volts with an unfortunate first round. We'll meet you in the consolation bracket in just a few races, actually.
60 seconds remaining.
Well, there it is. Race manager, birds aren't real. Clarifying some more questions for our pilots.
Race over.
There's AC Unit chatting with Chetmac in front of our beautiful launch pad. Bumper on the far left on his phone, probably looking up stats. Here comes Icy, our other race director. And in the middle of your screen is my friend DeBits, Michael Chen. one of the huge creators of the tunnel you see on the right side and all of the 19 4-foot by 32-inch
Next
epic
up, round
LED
one,
tunnels
race
that
4.
make up a huge part of this
Nicked it
course,
on
namely
R1.
the Hyperdrive.
Jamis the 13th on R2.
Hyperdrive is a
IC
course
on
feature
R6.
invented by my good friend
Bits on
Rudy
R8.
over in Germany, shared it with the world, and it's now a big part of a lot of different race scenes. Well, here is the next heat with only one mistake. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. We got a name. Some of these names in pilots are just not quite adding up, I happen to realize. But we got AC unit labeled correctly on there. There's Icy getting pulled in. We can watch it change on the fly. Doesn't it look like they're standing in front of the Denver skyline, ladies and gentlemen? One more shout out to Perspective Image, and I'm starting to wonder if we should take a minute to shout out even more of our sponsors. Gonna make sure we're moving along here and let these guys associate the right names with the right faces. Looks like Bumper's got
Arm your
him.
quads. Starting on the tone in
Door
less than
slams
6.
shut. We're up in the air with Nicked It, Jamis, Icy, and DeBits here in this practice round, the final practice round of the Elite Class Finals. After this, it's all racing for realsies.
Whole shot to bits 11.84.
Yes. Oh no. Well, I've got to calm my heart because it's so easy to get excited about a rivalry on a practice pack, but it's not worth a thing other than the practice itself. Looks like Icy gonna practice the slide. Wow. He took that aggressively and it almost paid off. Almost makes you wonder what he's got planned for later in this tournament. Let's watch Icy one more time as he approaches the onset of the slide. There's the runway. Again, extremely aggressive, and it almost worked out. In fact, I would consider that a success. If you can quick turtle and get in it, that's a win on the slide in my books. One more time with the Icy setup on the slide. He's coming in hot. There was a really good slide, but it threw off his gyro, and he took a little bit of a tumble into the corner of the room. One more time for Icy on the slide. Oh, it's fun, isn't it? Do you guys love the slide? Because I do. Esther's saying, beautiful slide and way to go, Arlen.
Finished in first.
You're probably talking about his performance on the slide, but I'm going to just say you're talking about the actual slide. Just kidding, Esther. Well, 10 more seconds left in this practice round before we race our final preliminary round race for reals.
Race over.
Bring him in, bring him in, bring him in.
Well, that means there's no more practice left for our elite class pilots. Only real racing from here to the podium. So let's see. Do we have a moment? I want to squeeze in as many sponsors as we can because let me tell you, these sponsors were so helpful. So let's start at the top with our Supernova sponsors. Thank you so much to these 5 wonderful sponsors that came in at the highest level. Of course, I'm talking about Tiny Whoop, Newbie Drone, We Bleed FPV, the Denver Center for International Studies, and which one am I missing right now? Greg, could I see the Supernova sponsors? No problem. How could I forget Neo's UV Creations? I'm so embarrassed. They're getting a lot of shout outs thanks to showing up here, doing tons of art and creating their beautiful tent section of the course that adds a whole nother sort of biome to the experience of the Tiny Whoop Raceway here today. Thank you so much, Supernova sponsors, coming in at the highest possible level of support for the greatest race in Tiny Whoop. Well, our
Arm your
pilots
quads.
should be
Starting on
ready
the
to go.
tone in
Let's have a
less than
look.
6.
We're going right now. Here we go. Pilots in the sky, an instant error for Jameis. Nicktick can see the traffic in front of him and knows exactly what he's got to do. It's Icy and DeBits. First one to be across the line looks like it's
Whole
DeBits.
shot
Got
to
the whole
damn
shot.
thing, 10.95.
Oh, I get it. DeBits, first one out of the hyperdrive, and he's got action. Actually, no, Nicktit made the pass. Nicktit out in front, but only by about one gate. Icy's on board as well, as Jameis is looking at our spectators in the VIP lounge. That was beautiful. That's one of my favorite parts about Tiny Whoop races is audience participation. Pretty excellent follow cam from on board with Nicktit, trading places with DeBits right now, but makes it out first, now setting up for our dynamic slalom. We'll bring Nicktit around that pylon at the back of the hallway first, but DeBits right on him. They're going to be separated by this course feature right here. It's different for everybody, like we say. You've got to chase those gates down sometimes. We have them on their slowest speed setting, but DeBits got out fast. There's the toilet bowl and there's the pipe. DeBits is getting ready to hook around that red pylon to set up for his big slide. Let's see how he does. Nickit's not too far behind either. Icy in third currently. Backward slide for DeBits. What a beautiful slide. I love that. And where have we got? Was that? Oh man, Nicktit was there too. Did they slide together? Looks like Nicktit went back to double check that he had touched the bottom slide. Bravo to you as DeBits gets ready to round out our centerpiece and
DeBits
head
finished
for
in
the
first.
crash gate. Let's get him in there to make it official. There it
Nicktit
is.
Finished in second.
Now Nicktit carves his way into the crash gate as well. So there it is, DeBits and Nicktit, 1 and 2
Icy the goat
after their
finished in
first
third.
preliminary round race, and just like that, all of our elite pilots have taken to the skies here at the Tiny Whoop
60
Raceway
seconds
for at
remaining.
least one race.
Hey Greg, just so you know, the DeBits photo is wrong. No, I'm already thinking. Oh, cool. No, I'm not a criticism. Just telling you.
Jamis the 13th finished in fourth.
Okay.
Race over.
Well, everybody in the crash gate, that means they know they got to go there. During qualifying, of course, we gave these guys a record 8 rounds of qualifying, breaking all Tiny Whoop race records. And during that, they did not have to go into a crash gate. So that, alongside the dynamic slalom, are the two course features that these pilots have to kind of get used to after grinding out their qualifying day yesterday. Whenever you hear birds yelling, "Open the box!" that means pilots are ready to get in their launch cages where they shall be detained until the green light hits. What's up, bike guy? They got the air compressor running that thing turned up to 11, and you don't want your fingers anywhere near. Like, you should see the pilots put their whoops in there. Ah, never mind. All right, here's your next heat. Zion
Next up,
FPV
round 2,
bumper,
race 1.
fresh bread, throwing the
Zion
Vulcan
FPV
salute.
on R1.
And there's our friend DeBits,
Bumper
one of the
on R2.
creators of these epic
Fresh
hyperdrive
bread
tunnels.
on R6.
When we
Marshall
made.
FPV on R8.
Oh, excuse me, I made a mistake. DeBits not in
Arm
this
your
heat.
quads.
Marshall FPV in this
Starting
heat.
on the tone
One of my
in
new
less
friends.
than
Got to
6.
hang out with him a bunch last night. Really cool guy. And there he is in the back, center left, sitting next to his buddy Myopic. We are green here in this elimination race. Have I got that right?
Whole shot Zion is flying.
I believe
on
it is.
FPV 10.85.
So race to stay alive. These are pilots that already lost one, and now have got to keep it alive with a first or a second place. Otherwise, their career here at the Tiny Whoop Open 2024 comes to an end. Errors across the top of the screen. It's coming down to Freshbred in first place as Marshall, who was looking great in the Rainbow Road, has a bit of a stumble. And now it's Freshbred alone. No, Zion is with him. Zion one course feature behind Freshbred, but stumbling just a bit as Freshbred makes the sprint out of Neo's UV tent into that Sky Gate overlooking the dynamic slalom. Around the pylon, it's time to do battle with the BattleBots for Freshbred riding in first place. Zion's finally there as well, but a bit of a fumble on the first gate leaves him to double turtle, sliding a bit under one of the shelves. Now Freshbred's out of the bots and into the toilet, through the pipe, and let's watch Freshbred now because we saw him practicing that slide. Let's see how this goes for him. Attempts to slide nice and careful. That went great. Okay, that's the best slide you could possibly ask for. How about you, Zion? A big tumble, and I'm not sure what happened. You hate to see static at the bottom. It looked like a brownout to me.
Freshbred
Bumper and Marshall both
first.
on the gate bots as Freshbred puts it in the crash gate. Beautiful flying. Hey, Marshall had the Marshalls logo as his OSD when he turned on. Oh man, I remember being a kid and hate going to Marshalls. I'd be like, Mom, why do we have to go to Marshalls? It's weird the way that weird logo can make you flash back. Slide versus slide, Bumper versus Marshall right now. Bumper sets it down to the right. Marshall scoots
60
on
seconds
by.
remaining.
Not sure what happened to Bumper there, but it's kind of carnage at the end of this lap for Bumper and Marshall.
Bumper finished in second.
Is that what happened?
Can't think of a silly name for this one. Finished in third. Race over.
Well, I'm going to get the official results on that one. What are the official results?
So the official results were you had Freshbred, Bumper, Marshall, Zion.
Okay, what happened to Zion?
His board reset. He couldn't be on. Like it got it shorter than.
All right. Well, what a shame. A reset on Zion's board, and he's down to fourth place for that race, I'm told. So let's have a quick look at the bracket. We just finished the elimination race, race number 5, where we get to unfortunately say goodbye to 16th place in the elite class bracket, Zion FPV, finishing just behind Marshall FPV at 15th place overall. Here in the elite class finals, nothing to shake a stick at.
Next
if you
up,
make
round
it to
2,
elite
race 2.
class,
Blue Jay
you know,
on R1.
you're already a champion.
Dio GTS on R2.
And
Enter school on
it hurts to
R6.
say goodbye, but
Backwoods
I guess that's
FPV
how it
on
is.
R8.
Just like that, we're going to bump back up to the winner's bracket race. Here's the people that got first or second place in their first attempt in the preliminary round. Blue Jay, Dio GTS, Interspool, and Backwoods. And for the sake of my own sanity, I'm just going to go with Jodis for Dio GTS. I've been calling him Dio GTS for 6 years. He just got the new nickname Jodis because of a mispronunciation at the We Bleed Northeast Whoop Championships. And I think I'm going to make it stick because, like I always say, you don't choose your pilot name, I choose your pilot name. Just kidding, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a winner's bracket race, so 2 of these guys will move on to the quarterfinals of the winner's bracket. I'll explain that in a minute. We're going to bounce between the winner's bracket and the consolation bracket for the next couple races until we work our way towards our Chase the Ace finals right around the corner.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 6.
Nice launch. A little bit of a weird wiggle for a couple of pilots, but they got back on it. The view from on board with Dio is outstanding, and he just made a double pass by cutting that
Whole shot
orbit just a
backwards
little
FPV
tighter.
12.38.
Someone's on him, but I bet he makes it all the way down this tube without an error. Bravo to Dio GTS. I'm going to say it that way, I guess. He's leading at first place with Blue Jay right behind him right now as he hits Nessie just in front of Blue Jay. They're sharing a gate here and there. It's going to be divided by this Neo's UV Creations tent. And still separated by just one gate. Corkscrews clean for Dio and Blue Jay. They sprint out of the tent. Now they're going to head towards the gate bots, and we'll see what that does to this little duo. Looks like Blue Jay maybe down 2 to 3 seconds behind Dio as he makes an error. Blue Jay needs clean slalom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clean for Dio, or excuse me, for Blue Jay, moving into first place and down the toilet bowl into the pipe. Blue Jay now leading the pack in front of Dio GTS here in this winner's bracket race with a strong statement, setting up for the slide now. Let's see what he can do. Oh no, Dio makes the pass going into the slide, but Blue Jay, oh, they both tumble out the bottom, and we're going to see who recovers faster. It's Blue Jay, but they're side by side. Dio can see him just ahead. It's the shoelace, and they're going to race each other to the sky gate. Boom, a big dive, and Dio can see Blue Jay just in front of him. We both know they have tight orbits. It's a race to the crash gate right now. Dio right behind Blue Jay.
Dio GTS
Blue Jay gets in less than a
second
second in front of Dio GTS. What an awesome final into the crash gate. Blue Jay's still in there kicking around. I don't know what that's about. And I also don't know what happened to Backwoods FPV. I got a little excited there. He's looking at his own reflection somewhere. And it looks like he's given up.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh man, that was a fun one. This is how the racing's going to be, tighter and tighter, leading up to the S-tier finals when we crown a new champion, new international official, Tiny Whoop Global Champion. There's the feet of Blue Jay. Picks up his winning quad and says, Dio, we've done battle so many times before, and this time I got ya. Let's go Dio, says Ryan
30
Shoeface.
seconds remaining.
Joining us on the Perspective
Race
Image
over.
YouTube channel, and whether you're joining us on the Perspective Image YouTube channel or the official Tiny Whoop YouTube channel, thank you so much for being with us for Finals Day. Leave a like on both videos if you wouldn't mind, as we get set to bounce all the way back down to the lower left of your screen. Race number 7 is another elimination race. We're bringing in orange stuff, 0 volts. Our friend Icy, one of the race directors, and Jameis the 13th. Should I say the 13th or just 13? I'll let the chat decide. Another sad race, so for 2 of these pilots, they will be excused from the building after this one more battery on our glorious raceway. Martian McFly saying, so close, what an awesome race. Props off, that was exciting. Great race, y'all. My nails are chewed down to the knuckle. Go Blue Jay, says Emily Stahl. Borg Slayer saying fresh bread equals power bottom. I don't get it,
Next up, round 2, race 3.
but I bet it's funny.
Jamis the 13th on R1.
Wow, they say the
Orange
13th.
stuff on R2. Icy on R6. 0 volts on R8.
So you can see race number 6. Well, let's just move on. There's our pilots in the launch pad. I want to see that gate slam shut. It never doesn't slam. I love this gate.
Arm your quads. Starting on the
Ba-ba-ba-boom.
tone in less than 6.
Trap till the go tone. Stuck in our launch box. Let's watch the launch from a line of sight angle. Boom, right out they go. Orange stuff with an incredibly fast launch, and bad luck for 0 volts, still struggling to get out of there. I'm looking at incredibly fast orbiting for orange
Whole
stuff.
shot
First one
orange
across the
stuff,
line. Let's get a clean
10.7.
shot down the hyperdrive for orange stuff. Very nicely done. Love that pre-turn at the end of the tunnel. He's got a lot of action from Jameis right now. Icy's alongside them as well on the Rainbow Road section of the course. First one to the tent, it's orange stuff. 2 gates ahead of Jameis, riding second place in front of Icy third. 0 volts still struggling on the line. You hate to see it. Orange stuff now out of the tent, heads for the slalom. Let's see how he deals with these gate bots. At a glance, oh, so he misses one. At a glance, you can't quite tell which way they're going, but I bet you can feel it when you're on board the aircraft. He's back in the auditorium. I see him over there going down the toilet bowl and into the tube. Now around the pylon to the top of the room. It's Orange Stuff in first place, leading in front of second place Jameis, now also back in the auditorium. Ooh, a stumbly slide for Orange Stuff as Icy does battle with those gate bots in the hallway. And you can see the tank treads rolling past him. He's going to get run over. Orange Stuff about to finish his race. The top of the room to Skygate to a giant epic spiral down. My God, what skills. And now
Orange
he'll
Stuff
hook the
finished in
corner and
first.
aim for that crash gate. Makes it official and stays alive in the losers bracket. Who can we get with him? All right, Icy is maybe 10 seconds now, 8 to 10 seconds behind Jameis. Would require a pretty considerable error for Jameis to not get this. But we want Icy. Unfortunately, there's
Off
an
with
error
his
for
head
Icy.
finished in second.
Hooking left and into the crash gate. Jameis locks in second place. And man, this is the moment where I realize how sad I am that we're going to say goodbye to Icy. And of all
60
people,
seconds
0
remaining.
volts. Like, got knocked out of a race without taking off, and I just can't
Icy
bear it.
finished in third.
0 volts. I love your style.
Race
I
over.
love your racing. Can we just give him another shot? We'll put it up to the chat. What do you think, chat? Should we just let him stay in the tournament? You guys like 0 volts as much as I do? Trust me, he's chill. He's extremely chill. Props off saying Orange Stuff is fire, and I couldn't agree more. Want to make sure I'm glancing at my friends hanging out in both chats. Wow, lots of viewers across our different platforms as we look at our overall double elimination bracket. We're getting set right now to bounce back up to the winners bracket. It's race number 8, where Chetmac, AC Units, DeBits, and Nicked have all won first or second place in their first race. Now meet here. Only 2 can move on to the semifinals of the winners bracket to go up against Blue Jay and Jodis in race number 11 after 2 trips down to the elimination bracket where we have to kick out 4 more pilots. You hate to see it. Dr. Ride saying, go Jameis the 13th,
Next
505
up, round 3,
represent.
race 1. Chet Mack on R1. Nicked it on
Ryan's
R2.
into that fresh
AC
bread
Unit
sticker.
on R6. DeBits
So
on
am
R8.
I. Ugelin saying, let's go Dio, aka Jodis, aka Dio GTS. You got all the pronunciation too. And just a few minutes ago when Blue Jay won, his mom Amanda said, another one! Woo, Blue Jay! Just a friendly reminder that in this screen, you can see me on the far upper right. And I'll just wave right over here. That's me. Well, Dr. Rod was rooting on Icy in that last run, but it didn't quite go as Icy planned.
Nick did. AC Unit.
He's already
and
back on the
DeBits.
mic.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 6.
Winners bracket race. Bunch of epic pilots in this one. All right, this is a great launch. Looks like
Pole
Chetmac
shot
got out
Chetmac,
front.
9.67.
Yep, Chetmac, then Nicked it, then AC Unit. DeBits is right there as well. Not sure why he had a slower start. We know he's got the skills. Chetmac all the way down Rainbow Road now and at the tower, Pyramid of Power. My God. Into the Neo's tent. Who can we bring in there with him? Nicked it almost there, and AC Unit riding third place currently. Trying to catch up to Nicked it. There in the Neo's UV Creations tent. Chetmac's already out and screaming along. Set up for the gate bots right now. Let's see how he does. There's one with a tip on the tank treads on his way out. Sends him flying. Looks like he's got his groove back, though. 0 errors on the rest of those gate bots. And you got to hand it to him because it's harder than it looks. Those are some of the smallest gates on the course, too. Hardcore car for Chetmak as he sets up for his slide at the top of the room. Oh, a risky slide, and I don't know if that worked out. Let's glance back at AC Unit, see if he can catch up. He's almost there, actually. He got in front of Nicked It. So now second place AC Unit as Chetmak struggling on the slide. Makes it through, and now he's on the shoelace section. It's all up to AC Unit with another perfect slide in front of Nicked It. So AC Unit riding in second place and looking strong. DeBits pinned under a tunnel somewhere.
Finished in second.
That's a bad read. Nicked It's not in second.
Unit finished in third.
There's AC Unit hooking it into the gate behind Chetmak's first place. And those two are going to keep it alive. And they have just earned their spot in the semifinals of the winner's bracket. An amazing accomplishment, meaning they're just one step away from finals of elite class pilots. Do they know it? They should know it. I bet that was AC Unit feeling sympathetic for DeBits he's sitting next to. DeBits we saw pinned under one of the hyperdrive tunnels. And yeah, that does hurt, but don't forget, these pilots have double elimination, so nobody going home from this race. They can have another chance to fight their way all the way back to the finals in just a couple races. So right now it's time to go down to, I believe, race number 9. It's going to be another elimination race. Like I say, next 2 races, we're going to have to kick out both
Next up, round
2 from race
2.
number 9 and 2 from
Enter
race
spool
number
on
10.
R1.
Race
Bumper
number
on
9 is
R2.
going to be bringing in
Fresh bread
Fresh
on
Bread
R6.
Bumper, Interspool Backloads. Race
Backwards
number 10 is going to be
FPV on R8.
Orange Stuff, Jameis, DeBits, and Nicked It. We'll have those names filling in just a moment. So let's get ready to bring in Interspool, Bumper, Fresh Bread, Backwoods, and their fight to stay alive in race number 9.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 6.
What a launch. Best launch of the day so far. Fastest is Fresh Bread. He's screaming at the front right now, and a very fast orbit's going to put him across the whole shot
Whole
first.
shot Fresh Bread 10.8.
Barely in front of Interspool, leading Backwoods by a fraction of a second. Bumper riding 4th place currently as Fresh Bread already on his way down the Rainbow Road in the gymnasium. Let's bring him up the Pyramid of Power and into the Nessie, leading him to the Neo's UV tent. He's got action from Interspool. Look, Backwoods is there too. Bumper's only 1 gate behind now, pushing to catch up with the pack. Successful corkscrew for Fresh Bread means it's a sprint out of the UV tent, and now head to that big long straight down the hallway, setting up for the gate bots. 1, 2, they're very close together for that moment. 3, 4, and 5 for Fresh Bread, clean and making it look easy. Split S into the mirror tunnel caused him some problems, so we're going to look back and see who's with him. Interspool and Backwoods. Interspool in second, but Fresh Bread back on his feet in the sky and headed for the slide. Let's bring him to the slide right now. Fresh Bread. Really nice slide. All right, can Interspool do that? Almost. Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, that Fresh Bread slide's as good as it gets. He is sprinting towards that finish line right now. Let's bring him into the crash gate. Fresh Bread, first place and stays alive in this tournament. Who's going to be with him? Bumper with a bumpy slide. Here comes Interspool sprinting for that crash gate himself, and that's a second place. He crossed the plane even if he bumps out. It's legit. Interspool and Fresh Bread stay alive in the consolation bracket.
Bumper finished in third.
Bumper and Backwoods FPV going to be excused from the building. Just kidding. Bumper, you got to help out still. Bumper's one of our admins. Oh, he got me. He got me. Who was that?
Seconds remaining.
Fresh Bread. Wow. Bravo. Fresh Bread with the
Race
first
over.
successful face punch on yours truly of my entire life. And you know what? Just because it was the first one and only one, maybe we can all make an agreement that just didn't happen. I can keep my streak alive. So far I've been the epic whoop ninja you never knew existed. Maybe you did. Let's just pretend that didn't happen, right, chat? I don't think that even happened. I don't have any bright... Oh! Another attempt. Another attempt. At least I dodged that one. But now these pilots got to quit horsing around because we got serious racing to do, guys. Oh, now I'm on edge. Now every moving light feels like an approaching aircraft. Well, let's get a refresher from the leaderboard, or excuse me, the bracket, if you don't mind, because I think from here we're going straight into another elimination round. Race number 10, the bottom of your screen. Orange Stuff, Jameis nicked it into bits, about to step up to the plate. Before we bounce up to my favorite, race number 11. Here in the Elite Class Finals bracket, this is a tough one. You know, you get to the stage in the bracket and you're like, how am I going to say goodbye to two of these guys? How am I going to let Orange Stuff go? How am I going to let Jameis the 13th go? Nicked it into bits or old school. We can't let them leave. So maybe we'll give them an extra chance if they lose, huh?
Next
Chat,
up,
does the
round
chat
4,
have my
race
back
1.
or not? I can't tell.
Jameis the 13th on R1. Orange Stuff on R2. Nicked it on R6. DeBits on R8.
Pilot's doing some channel changes, so let's say hello to our sponsors. I'd love to mention them. At least we'll do a couple of tiers, maybe starting with the gold tier. Gold sponsors, thank you so much, coming in at a considerable level contribution, $300 or more in cash and prizes donated to our event. Thank you so much to the International Game of Whoop, Prop Popper, Drone Max, LDARC, Project 399, Emax, RC and Power, Custom FPV, Derpy Hooves, and of course Joshua Bardwell. And darn it, we've got time to say one more thank you to our platinum level sponsors. $600 in cash and prizes. Thank you so much to HQ Prop, True RC Canada, Beta FPV, Rotor Riot, and T-Motor. And of course all those prizes getting divvied up between all of our pilots. We've got a lot on the line as we are here at the Tiny Whoop World Championship race. But the way we do prizes is a little different than some of the other races. We divvy up this unbelievably generous pool of prizes between all of the 64 pilots involved. Everybody gets a fleet box, and we give trophies to the top 4 of every class. The glory is really what you're trying to earn here. Looks like we're
Arm
good to
your
go.
quads.
Elimination
Starting
round.
on the tone
The
in
door's
less
slammed,
than
and these
6.
guys are about to take to the air. Strong launch. Orange Stuff missed a gate. You hate to see it. He's not going back for it.
Whole shot Orange Stuff 9.11.
I don't know how to handle a missed gate on a hole shot. Well, let's look ahead to the pack. Orange Stuff flying great too. Not sure the status of how to handle that though in the future. He's already out, currently riding in first place and headed towards the gate bots, although there's a question about his launch and his hole shot up for review. So we don't really know how that's going to look. That's going to shake out, and that would be an awful way to end a career at the Tiny Whoop Open. Anyway, he's in first place right now according to the race course. Let's look at him come down the slide in first place and see who we got to follow him. Second place, DeBits. Third place, Jameis the 13th, and nicked it riding fourth place currently. Unofficially was with a little bit of results pending as Orange Stuff out the slide over the sky gate
Orange
and now
Stuff
headed
finished
for
in
that
first.
crash gate, but didn't quite get in there yet. Needs to get in the crash gate. All right, so that one is under review. And let's see if we can get to Bits through that shoelace section at the top of the room. He's got action from Jameis the 13th right now. Is he going to catch him? It's a race across the line right now.
DeBits
DeBits going to
finished
get
in
into
second.
that crash gate just
Jameis the 13th
ahead.
Finished in third.
Yes, just ahead of Jameis the 13th. So now one to finish. And some judges are taking a look at the
All right. Unfortunately,
Launch there.
we had
60
someone
seconds
not
remaining.
do the hole shot correctly. Orange stuff, unfortunately, was
Fully ran
DQ'd
into
on
it,
that.
finished in 4th.
I'll show you.
Well, you know, I feel bad when I catch that kind of thing. But as fast as he was moving, he was just absolutely screaming, and it is the kind of thing that can get past you in the heat of a
30
moment.
seconds remaining.
It's amazing he didn't make contact. So there's our leader, Icy, showing him exactly what happened. And a little tiny picture of me on a little tiny screen there, in case you guys are always looking for me like I am for some reason.
All right, one sec. I still gotta sort 1, 2,
10
and 3
seconds
now.
remaining.
So unfortunate.
Race over.
So if you want to see on the screen, we're looking, oh, maybe they're looking at something else. Bringing it back. Hey, you want to join me? Come on over.
I got a race in the next race.
Well, you got to scoot over here, get in the frame, and put on a headset. You're racing in the next one?
Race 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, right. That's the quarterfinals of the whole race.
No, 12 or
It is.
Or-
12 is in the consolation bracket. It's one step away from 13, the semifinals.
correct.
So you got 2 first and seconds to get yourself all the way to the finals. But we're just looking at this review where Orange Stuff accidentally cut a part of the hole shot and didn't go
Next
back.
up, round
And
4, race 2.
I hate it when I catch that kind of
Blue
thing.
Jay on R1.
All right.
Dio
Bring it back,
GTS
Blue
on
Jay. So
R2.
This is race 11.
Check
race
back on
11, my
R6.
yeah, I guess
AC
so.
unit on
Okay.
R8.
Well, thanks for joining me for a minute.
Yeah. Was that the world's slowest face punch?
No, yeah. This is the pilot that just face punched me, by the way, everybody. No, that was awesome. I don't know why I didn't see it coming. And then there was another attempt right after that, and then every moving light after that, I dodged. You know, I keep on doing
All right.
those weird head spasms. All right, let's look at this bracket. Good luck to you, Fresh Bread. Let's look at this bracket right here because we're moving into race number 11. These pilots have won first or second place in their first 2 heats. It's Blue Jay, Dio GTS, Chet Mack, and AC Unit, all having really strong careers in the unbelievable accomplishment of getting to the elite class here at the Tiny Whip Open 2024. There's no pilot that could be in this position that doesn't have an incredible mind for piloting tiny aircraft. And you know, sometimes I want to argue that people are like, oh, are you a pilot? Are you a drone pilot or
Arm
a
your
real
quads.
pilot?
Starting on the tone in less than
I'm a real
6.
pilot. And I'll tell you, these guys are real pilots. If anyone's a pilot, these 4 minds are pilots. There's the line right now. I see them over my shoulder. Let's look on board right now. Who's got the hole shot?
Hole shot
Wow.
Chet Mack 9.51.
Chet Mack races across the hole shot. I see traffic from on board with AC Unit. I hope he has better video than we see. Clean hyperdrives for Blue Jay and Dio GTS, but Blue Jay taps his hat on top of that first inflatigate. Chet Mack still holding first place now in the Neos UV tent. And alone in there for a few seconds as he starts to extend his lead. You hate to see AC Unit start to fall behind like that. He's got to get up and get in it, and maybe even rely on an error by some of our other leaders. Second place, Dio GTS exits the Neos UV creation tent as Chet Mack negotiates the gate bots in the hallway. Dio's there as well. Here comes Blue Jay. AC, we don't know. I'm really hoping you got better video than that. Let's bring Chet Mack back into the room. He's headed down the toilet bowl and into the pipe. Still riding first place. He's got action from Blue Jay and Dio riding side by side right now. Oh my goodness, are they going to meet on the slide? A little bit of a wall tap for Dio, and Blue Jay's running away with second place right now. Oh, overpass on the slide. It threw Blue Jay into a tumble. Did Dio... Oh, interesting strategy for Dio, who went back for a very simple triple tap on the double tap. And now he's one gate
Mack
ahead of Blue
finished in
Jay. Blue
first.
Jay's got a sprint. They dive together. Blue Jay's faster to the bottom of the gate. Who's going to get to the
Dio
crash gate
GTS
first
finished
right
in
now?
second.
A really close finish.
Blue Jay finished
That
in
is a
third.
photo finish. That's a photo finish right there. That is as close as it gets. Give me your predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Race over.
Dio GTS or Blue Jay. It's to find out who makes it to the finals. So we know we got Chetmak in the finals. There's Blue Jay and Dio GTS. You know, they've been flying together for years. They've flown together in states and races around this country. They've stayed at Whoop House together probably a dozen times by now. They'll be hanging out tonight, playing Jackbox in the evening, as is tradition. But we need to go to a review on that one because I want to know who got into that crash gate first.
On the race. We'll get back to you on that.
Well, maybe we can do a little bit of a review here. All right, let's watch this final together. So we've got a little bit more racing. You know, they're separated right now, but errors and happenstance has led them back together. And I'm going to say it's within 2 frames. I don't know who it was. If I had to predict, I think Blue Jay got in, but I'm almost guessing. All right, here we are at the end of the race. There's the start finish. Okay, slow it down. Look at that. Blue Jay, by maybe 1 or 2 frames, is now a finalist alongside Chetmak. Am I wrong? That was Blue Jay, right? Looked pretty conclusive to me. Let's see what the judges end up typing in. There it is, officially race number 11. Chetmak in the 1 spot. Blue Jay with the 2 next to his name means that the judges have deemed it. He eked in front of Dio GTS. And AC Unit bringing in 4th place. We're going to see them in race number 13 where they've got another chance to earn their way into the finals and meet our friends Blue Jay and Chetmak, elite class finalists. But first we got to jump down to race number 12 to find out who will meet Dio and AC Unit in race number 13. We got to pick 2 out of this race number 12, and the other 2 we're going to send away. Fresh Bread, Interspool, DeBits, and Jameis the 13th. Next in our racing here at the Tiny Whoop Open 2024 Elite Class Finals.
We're about 30 seconds until timing's ready.
Preparing timing after that DVR review and a look at our crash gate there. We've got a new slide in for We Bleed FPV, one of our favorite sponsors. For 2 years in a row, We Bleed FPV has been a very high, the highest level sponsor in sponsorship and giving extremely generously to make this kind of race possible.
Starting on the tone in less than 6.
So big special thank you to We Bleed FPV, our friend Jeff over there. Great guy, and we love your products. Ooh, somebody took a dive. It was Jameis. Traffic across the sky here in this elimination bracket race. First one of the hole shots, Fresh Bread. No, he made a little bit of a misturn, and Interspool got there first. They're side by side going to the tunnel. Fresh Bread back out in front. He's got action, a really fast emblem into that first inflated gate, and Interspool goes down. Jameis down as well. DeBits trying to catch up. Fresh Bread already through the Rainbow Road already, and now he's headed for that tent by Neo's UV Creations. And carnage for Jameis stuck in the spaghetti bowl. Let's have a look. Who have we got? A clean corkscrew for Fresh Bread. He's out of the tent now, sprinting towards that gatebot section. Let's throw him down the hallway. He needs some company. DeBits is almost there. Jameis continues to struggle, and Interspool has some serious ground to make up. Does a little bit of a face plant on the Jacob's Ladder inside Neo's tent as Fresh Bread increases his lead over this pack of giants, now headed towards the set up for the slide at the top of the room we saw in practice, and I do love his style. Let's see. Oh, he hit that fast. I think I don't know. He goes back to make sure, and a little bit of a bobble there. He's got the breathing room. The only person close is DeBits. DeBits now approaches the slide, but Fresh Bread's already done with the shoelace. Diving down, a major error by Fresh Bread, and he's underneath the spectators in the VIP gallery. Is he down and out? He can't get up. He can't get up. He's farther than anybody, but it means that, so now DeBit's going to put it in the gate. Fresh Bread seems to have lost a prop or a motor. Look at that hole DeBits just tore. Who got stuck on the crash gate? Grinding, grinding, grinding on the course. Those drone motors couldn't work much harder than that. And technically speaking, until the judges call it, they have time to wiggle loose and try to get in front of Fresh Bread, currently in second place.
All right, we have all of our pilots who seem to be incapacitated, so that would be DeBits, and then we got to figure out, I believe
30 seconds remaining.
DeBits, Fresh Bread, Interspool, then Janus.
That sounds correct to me.
Race over.
So nice flying there. There's DeBits in the blue, stoked that he got a win. And he is going to finals. Oh no, he's keeping it alive. I got my races mixed up. He's keeping it alive. DeBits moving on to race number 12. He's racing right now. Someone needs to tell him to get going. Yo, DeBits, you're racing right now. You're racing right We're moving from race number 12 into race 13. And it looks like the judges double checking who's going to join DeBits, but I think they're right. Looks to be Fresh Bread. Made it farthest in the course. We got 2 finalists queued up and ready to go for race number 14. Chet Mack and Blue Jay.
Next up, round 5, race 2. DeBits on R1. Dio GTS on R2. Fresh Bread on R6. AC Unit on R8.
As I was saying, we got 2 of our finalists for Elite Class, and it's Chet Mack and Blue Jay. Blue Jay with a perfect run. Chet Mack also with a perfect run this entire race. First or second in every heat. Let's see, Blue Jay with a first in the preliminary round, a first in race number 6, and onwards until he makes his way all the way to finals, where we're going to meet with him in 2 races. But in this next heat, we're bringing in the final elimination race. 2 of these pilots are going to join our heroes. Is it DeBits, Dio GTS, Fresh Bread, or AC Unit? 2 of them stand in the finals, and 2 of them are sent home. You gotta love how Fresh Bread, member of team, hold on, I got thrown off. What is the name of this team, this Star Trek themed drone racing team he's wearing the jersey for? Whoop Trek, Team Whoop Trek. I can't believe that took that long to come to me. I think there's 7 total, maybe 6 total members of Team Whoop Trek. So he's got to drop that Vulcan salute. Nice catch there. Did you guys catch that goggles catch? I saw that. I think that was Nicked It. A close-up of our heroes fighting to stay alive. It's heaven or hell right now. They're either going to go home or go to the finals.
Starting on the tone in less than 6.
Here we go. Wait.
Race over.
Wow. I can't believe none of them jumped.
I thought you were. I thought you were sarcastic.
What are they talking about? I see Fresh Bread laughing, AC smiling.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 6.
Hey, Mike Kingdom's joining us. How are you liking these gate bots you created? 'cause the pilots are loving them as much as the audience is. All right, we got our launch here for the semifinals of the entire elite class event. First one to get across the line. What's going on with Fresh Bread? Get him up.
Pole
Get him
shot
off the
Dio
ground.
GTS
Please,
12.36.
please. Dio GTS with the hole shot. Blue Jay sends him to the consolation bracket. He wants to come back and fight Blue Jay in the finals now. Currently riding in, let's say, second place behind DeBits. AC Unit is right there with him. Anybody's race, but we want to know what happened to Fresh Bread. My goodness. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah, it's looking like AC Unit. Did he get out in front? No, he's leading second place behind DeBits. It's really close right now. Are you seeing this? It's going to come down to the dynamic slalom. All right, nice and careful. An error by DeBits. Dio GTS looking pretty clean. Sets up and sweeps. Nice and easy through these gates. Dio comes out. No, AC Unit's in front right now. AC Unit into the pipe, narrowly leading in front of Dio GTS, but DeBits is right there as well. This is a fight to stay alive and earn your spot in the finals. And AC Unit currently in the lead right now, getting ready to go down the slide. A very nice slide for Arlen and AC Unit. Dio GTS with a stumble. Arlen is running away with this, already to the sky gate, extending his lead in front of the pack. It's 2 more turns for Arlen to lock his punch his ticket to the finals. Bravo AC Unit, but that's not all. Let's get ready to bring around Dio GTS after an epic crash by DeBits. I think it was a slide issue. Dio's in the gate and it's official. Dio will rematch against Blue Jay in the finals of Elite Class next heat. Oh my gosh, but DeBits is back. Gonna have a strong finish, putting him in, I believe, 5th place overall in the Elite Class finals.
Race over.
And a strong finish into the crash gate. We can see now tearing to shreds, and I am loving that crash gate action. One more shout out to We Bleed FPV, one of our favorite and most generous sponsors in the drone racing community, having a gigantic impact by supporting races around the world. As he supports ours, as they support ours, and we really are so thankful. Looks like we're going to do another
AC Unit to R2. AC Unit to R2.
another little switch over on our crash gate. Whose brand are we throwing up there next? Because I'm loving this.
The way that it's seated out, you're going to R8.
Only a few more little empty slots on this elite class bracket up on the far upper right. We've got our top 4 pilots. We're going to finish this entire event placed 17th through 20th overall. Chetmac, Blue Jay, AC Unit, and Dio GTS. I know we got family excited in the pit or in the chats, and I'm sorry to be looking away. We've got so much action here. How are we doing for likes, guys? Get us over 100 likes. There's 74 of us watching the Perspective Image channel. Let's get some more likes over there. Bump that number up. We got to get it way over 100 before we get to Elite Class. Help me out. Let's do it on both channels. There's a look at your finalists. Look how fierce these people are. So real, so fierce. I mean, look into the eyes of Blue Jay. That's why he's winning all these races. That stare, there's something drawing me in about that stare. We love you, Blue Jay. AC Unit, one of our very own at Tiny Whoop Headquarters. We love this guy. There's Chetmac. We've had an unbelievable performance up till this point. And of course, Dio GTS, old school Lady Luck bartender and also member of Team Deadlock, one of the founding members of the realest and truest drone racing team on planet Earth. That's of course Deadlock FPV, represented here in the finals of Elite Class. No surprise there.
Hold on. Was I supposed to be timing this?
Well, our pilots seem to be getting ready. Almost at launch time. So that's your podium. We just don't know the order. Everybody on this screen is walking home with a big trophy. And a bunch of prizes and a fleet box that says their number and all the things. Hey, shout out to Wild Type. Making his way towards the VIP gallery. Crazy Do saying, I love my team. So do I. Crazy Do.
Next up, round 6, race
But
1.
not like you do.
Blue Jay on R1. Dio GTS on R2.
I see the likes come screaming
Mac
in.
on
Thanks so
R6.
much. And a shout out to Custom
AC unit
FPV
on
in the chat,
R8.
one of our sponsors. And I put out all the trophies and got all kinds of pictures, all the prizes. And the help from
Arm your
Custom
quads.
FPV is
Starting
just
on the
immeasurable.
tone
Thank
in
you
less
so
than
much for
6.
getting our back, Custom. That's Noah in the chat. All right, let's get this launch underway. It's finals of the elite class, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it really matters. We want we want the champion of the elite
Full
class,
shot
and we
Chet
want to
Mac
get them
9.36.
in these Chase the Ace finals. Let's have a look right now. Errors and AC unit flying clean, moves into first place. He's on Rainbow Road and distancing farther and farther ahead. We've got nothing but carnage. Blue Jays back in it, but Dio, where are you? Chetmac riding second place, and AC unit already at the tunnel, leading in front of Chetmac and Blue Jay right now. Remember, we're doing Chase the Ace finals, so we're going to do at least 2 rounds of this. We're going to run these same 4 pilots until one pilot has 2 wins. AC unit still riding in first, but Chetmac is flying fiercely and trying to catch up right now. Dynamic slalom time for AC unit. Couple of clean ones, taps the wall, regather and reset, because here comes Chetmac. He's on the same course feature as you now. This is where it starts to get hot. AC unit moving into the toilet bowl. He's got company. Chetmac closing the gap for sure. Closer and closer, and a ton of pressure on AC unit now approaching the slide. It's going to come down to the slide. Here we go with a gentle approach. Hard to do when you're under that much pressure. Another perfect slide for AC unit as Chetmac has one more bobble at the top of the room. Looking really strong for AC unit at this stage. Diving down around that infinity cube and rounding one more
AC
corner.
unit
The
finished
start
in
and finish
first.
gate hooks into that crash gate. AC unit with an ace in his pocket. Let's have a look at second place. Blue Jay somehow getting back in the action, now approaching the slide, but Chetmac with another error on his slide. So again, it's not a race to be in first or second like all the other races, because we're here in Chase the Ace, but points do matter.
Chetmac finished in second.
There it is, Chetmac across the line and into
Blue
the
Jay
crash
finished
gate,
in
right
third.
behind his competitor
60
AC unit.
seconds remaining.
Blue Jay
Race
makes it
over.
official with his 3rd place and a strange and mysterious DNF for our friend Dio GTS. Fought his way back to these finals and
Next
doesn't
up,
want
round
it to
7,
end
race
like
1.
this. Nobody
Blue
does.
Jay on R1.
So,
Dio
AC
GTS
unit
on R2.
with an ace in his pocket.
Chetmac on R6.
All he needs is one
AC
more
unit
win.
on
There he
R8.
is. One more win will give him the elite class championship. Mini Rolls Rule in the chat saying, no, Dio. And he got stuck in something. I'm going to look back at the stream later and figure out what it was and how it happened. But you know what, Dio? I blame you for that. We need a bigger finish gate. Is that a joke? Our finish gate is massive. It's the biggest crash gate ever. The biggest crash gate biggest tiny whip crash gate that's ever existed. But if people want more, I will give you more. You know what? I'm going to put it on the list. Let's glance at the other chat. Say hi to our friends. More shout outs to Whoop Trek. People are asked, DDT asked me, is it first to the timer or first to the crash gate? It's the first to the crash gate. Timer doesn't matter at all. Chaser saying, bring it home, Chet. I really think Chet's got a great chance at bringing in ace and taking us to another multi-ace situation. I also think Blue Jay could easily be there. In fact, I'm surprised he doesn't have an ace now. Wow. All right.
Arm your quads. Starting
The gate
on the tone
is
in
closed.
Less than 6.
AC unit's got an ace. He's the ace to chase. Everybody's going to be coming after him now. What a launch. And I saw Blue Jay at the back of that launch, but we know he's got the pow-pow to get to the top. Chetmac
Hole
with
shot,
the
Chetmac,
hole shot. Now
9.14.
headed down the tunnel. A little bit of a bobble. Who's with him? It's Dio, but he gets passed by Blue Jay in the 1 spot. Blue Jay now hitting Rainbow Road all by himself. Errors across the board. I don't know what it is, but Blue Jay now at the Pyramid of Power and into the Nessie. Riding first place, his closest action. Chetmack in second place. Third place, Dial GTS and AC Unit with an ace in his pocket, currently riding in fourth place. As Chetmack already through the corkscrew nice and clean and goes for the sprint out of the Neos tent. Makes it out narrowly in front of Blue Jay. Now they're going to get ready to set up for the dynamic slalom. Let's watch this happen. It's going to determine how it goes. Chetmack looking nice and strong. Wow, 5 very fast gates. That was awesome, Chetmack. I barely even noticed, but a big tumble. It's going to open the door for Blue Jay. He's on his lid and doesn't know it. It's hard to tell if you're right side up. And now he watches a pass over the top. Who was it? I think it was Blue Jay. Could have been Dio, but I'm not sure. Blue Jay in first place right now. First one to hit the slide. Dio's fighting. Chetmack's fighting. Blue Jay gets out, but he tumbles. Chetmack also tumbling. Dio goes back for another attempt.
Blue Jay
What is
finished in
happening?
first.
Okay, Blue Jay now looking strong, headed to the shoelace section first. This is a misread. He is not in first. He does not have a first place win, but he's getting ready to do it, diving down around the cube. He's got hardcore action from Chetmack, racing into the finish line.
Chetmack finished
Chetmack
in
makes the
first.
pass, but has an error
Jay
on the
finished
pylon.
in
Blue Jay
second.
gets in first.
Dio
Unbelievable
GTS
back and
finished in
forth in
third.
the last half of that lap.
AC Unit
Now
finished
Dio
in
in there, but not
All right,
before
we're going to live review on a
Chetmack
couple
pulled
of areas of
second.
the track, guys. So
My
sit
goodness.
tight, please.
All right, what did he say, guys?
We're going to a live review.
There is a review.
Play, sorry.
I'm about to look at it right now.
Okay, Chetmack. Well, let's see. We got a question about one of the pilots on the course, but I don't think that Blue Jays win and Ace will be contested, Amanda. I'm pretty sure he nailed it. But what a fun, this is like the kind of race that I live for, that I want to go back and watch. So I'm gonna watch it. So look at the Blue Jay's screen. He's parked on the ground as the tank treads of the gate bots go crawling by.
Why would you go back and redo it? That's something that's supposed to happen.
No, that's something that a spotter does, not the race organizers. That's not fair. I would never do that for everybody.
So there's the error by Dio. Now Blue Jay makes the pass. Blue Jay in first place, getting ready for his slide. Nice and careful. That's the hardest time in the world to be careful. He tumbles. Chetmack also tumbles. Dio also tumbles. Blue Jay gets up clean. Screaming towards the shoelace. This feels conclusive to me, but let's see what the judges say.
Alright, it's good. You're wrong.
What?
You're wrong. He won. Confirmed.
Who won?
Chet, he won that round.
Not Blue Jay?
No. We thought Chet did it wrong, but he did it right.
Well, Blue Jay got in the gate first.
Oh, I thought Chet had finished that one first.
Let's review. Blue Jay's in. Chetmack's still not in. Chetmack's still not in. Now Chetmack's in.
Oh, the
Thank you.
screen was just wrong.
That's cool.
It says one.
Yeah, exactly. So Blue Jay with an ace. AC Unit with an ace. And that puts it to Dio, GTS, and Chetmack to push us to a fourth heat. It could happen. We want it to happen. Could we see that? The elusive fifth heat, the sudden death heat. Possible when every single one of these champion pilots gets an ace in their pocket. Currently chasing Blue Jay and AC Unit. Chetmack and Dio need to make moves right now. It's hard to get an ace and then not make it to top 2, maybe top 3. But AC Unit with a tough round that time. Really
All right,
strong start to his.
It was Blue Jay in first, Dio in second, Chet in third, AC Unit in fourth. So Blue
Interesting.
Jay gets an ace. We have AC Unit with 1 ace, Blue Jay with 1 ace.
Run it again, guys.
Here we go.
Next up, round 8, race 1. Blue Jay on R1. Dio GTS on R2. Chet Mack on R6. AC unit on R8.
Custom FPV saying Ohio Blue Jay baby. That's right, representing the local crew. Blue Jay from nowhere, Ohio. Came out of nowhere
Arm
when he
your
made his
quads.
debut on the drone scene
Starting on the
2016
tone in less than 6.
with an unbelievable show of skill at the Tiny Whip Invitational. Been a hardcore member of the posse ever since. There's the launch. Somebody goes tumbling out. It's Blue Jay. So sad to see. I see Chet Mack out front. Chet Mack
Hole
through
shot,
the hole
Chet
shot.
Mack,
Chet Mack needs to keep a
9.52.
consistent run to push an ace. Let's see if he can do it. Rainbow Road for Chet Mack, and who's with him? Nobody. He's pulling farther and farther ahead. He's almost at the tent, and nobody else is on Rainbow Road. Okay, now we got AC Unit. Now Blue Jay's there. Now Dio's there. But Chet Mack currently on the ground, already inside Neo's tunnel. Closest person to him is AC Unit. If AC Unit could catch Chet Mack in this next half a lap, next 1 minute lap, that would clinch it for AC Unit. But Chet Mack seems to be flying nice and smooth. Nice. Put on the brakes to hit the dynamic slalom. Not taking any chances when you're rolling with a lead like this. Hooks it into the toilet bowl. And we look back and see AC Unit now falling a little further behind. Dio GTS up into the second spot as we send Chet Mack down the slide with a big tumble. Now Dio tries to approach the slide. And a difficult approach and reset for Chet Mack. Dio makes the... Oh, what happened there? Dio and Chet Mack side by side. Dio pinned underneath a tunnel as Chet Mack running away with this one. He face punches a unicorn. It's pandemonium. Did AC Unit just get in front of everybody? AC Unit's got an ace in his pocket and he just did a
Chet
giant
Mack
dive
finished
over
in
the
first.
Skygate. He's cruising all the way. Taking it nice and
Unit
cautious,
finished
but
in
looking
first.
really strong into the dive gate. The champion is
Chet Mack
AC
finished
Unit,
in
ladies and
second.
gentlemen. Just
Blue
got
Jay
his
finished
second
in third.
ace after an epic crash from the two other leaders. There he is, already standing up, walking around. Oh my goodness.
Race over.
AC Unit takes elite class, ladies and gentlemen. Unofficially, I think it's pretty much locked in, but we want to hear it from the judges. That was an awesome race. This AC Unit had to make up ground, and he came through in the clutch. He had to push, and he found an error. He found a hole. He took advantage of exactly what he needed to do, what he needed to take advantage of, namely the error by his two leaders on the slide. The slide led to a series of tumbles. And we are going to go to the judges because there could easily be a race-off. 2 aces this round. Yeah, he's proud. He's just off camera, but getting lots of congrats from the pals. Waiting for Icy to call it. Blue Jay. Blue Jay's always having a good time, They're throwing stuff at race-offs now. I want to know the rest of the podium. But how do you like that? Fans of drone racing around the world, you saw what I just saw. What a final heat. Arlen won that first ace through skill alone and took advantage of the weaknesses of his competitors to take that second ace.
All right, we will have a race off in this.
But who's got the ace?
But I can say that AC Unit got his second ace and will be taking first place in elite class. Tiny Whoop Open.
Incredible.
Number 2.
Incredible accomplishment. AC Unit, one of the newer pilots, one of our very own at Tiny Whoop headquarters.
And we
Really great guy. Shows up here. I think he's 20. Is he 19 or 20 years old?
Determine second and third place.
Oh, wow. Race off for second and third? Sorry to talk over that. I'm just so stoked about what AC Unit just did on this race course. Blue Jay stoked about a race off versus Chet Mack and Dio? Oh, maybe not Dio. Looks like it's Chet Mack and Blue Jay race off. second and third. Putting Dio in fourth place for elite class podium.
Next up, round 9, race 1.
If I was Blue
on
Jay,
R1.
I'd be having fun, but I'd be
Chet
like
Mack on
maybe
R6.
talking a little bit of smack, trying to get in his head. We're standing at the block, you know. He's susceptible to the pressure. But he's not, is he? What up, birds? What up, trash biz? Bombing the live stream. Watch your fingers down there, guys. Imogen in the chat saying, wow, AC unit, what a race, way to go. Yeah, it is amazing that he just did that. I can't believe it. All right, Chet Mack and Blue Jay preparing to launch for their race off. So what happened was, after all the aces were added up, 2 pilots had the same amount of points, and you know it's tradition to give it to the most recent winner, but we disagree with that at Tiny Whip Open. So we go for a race off. The door is closed. Shout out to our 2 sponsors, Rect and Weebleed FPV, from inside our launch gate, and there they go, Chet Mack with the clear launch advantage. Blue Jay's there as well, looking through a wrecked drone. He's got the pinch lines. You hate to see it. So slight disadvantage for Blue Jay in terms of visibility. Chet Mack already out the other side of the hyperdrive as Blue Jay resets to try to hit that hole shot. Struggling with a damaged camera. Something's wrong. Something is wrong for Blue Jay. Blue Jay. My heart's broken. But you still got third. Meanwhile, Chet Mack screaming and uncatchable. He's already at the gate bots. Chet Mack showing off his raw skill on this victory lap. Gonna lock in second place in the elite class finals as Blue Jay's video gets worse and worse from his damaged camera. I wonder if that happened in the crash gate last round. I love how Blue Jay's still breakdancing. Obviously got some considerable hardware damage. Whatever crash caused his camera to break likely affected his drone in other ways. Because you got to hit him really hard to do that now. Bravo, Chet Mack.
Bravo. All right, congratulations. Blue Jay, you take third place in elite class. Chet Mack taking second place in Tiny Whoop Open elite class.
What a finish for our elite
Race
class
over.
bracket. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get ready for S tier finals, where we will crown a brand new international Tiny Whoop champion here at the official Tiny Whoop Championship, the Tiny Whoop Open 2 2024. The big news, of course, Tristan T-Dog Teft is out of this race, opening the door of the championship to a handful of 16 other pilots we're going to meet in just a moment. But first, a quick look back at the elite class final results. Look at that. AC unit at the top of the screen. Take a screenshot, Imogen. I couldn't be, I mean, I'm just as proud as, no, I'm not. I mean, I have no idea. We love this guy. It's good to see a worthy champion. Second place, Chet Mack with an unbelievable performance, flying fast and consistent this entire series. Blue Jay, old school and an unbelievable pilot, worked his way all the way up to third place and lost to that race off against Chet Mack. And Dio GTS with a really unfortunate finish there. But an unbelievable showing to get to this point in the tournament is an unbelievable accomplishment. Rounding out our top 10, we've got DeBits, Freshbred, Interspool, Jameis the 13th, Nicked It, and of course Orange Stuff. And then of course, let's not forget Bumper, Backwoods, Icy, Zero Volts, Marshall FPV, and Zion FPV. An unbelievable accomplishment to make it to the elite class finals. Congratulations, pilots.